Hi, guys, and welcome to the Truth Factor. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. It might be too far. I don't know. I'm gonna try and stick it up here. Let me know if you all can hear me. Um, if you can't hear me, just let me know. Uh, I am gonna try and put it up here. We've got some headlines to cover, guys, and interesting headlines, I'd say today. Um, I kind of got 2 days put in together, but we're going to start with today's headlines, and then we'll go with what I had for yesterday. I had just a few. Um, I had started it, and just what I have not really felt 100% those last couple of days. I really have felt blah, say blah, but keep trying to push forward. Got lots to get ready for. Can you told your wife today she is being put into place now? Okay. Well, don't be mean. Don't put her in place, Kevin. Um, Anywho, hopefully you can hear me. Can you guys hear me okay? Hey, Daryl, how are you, hon? I hope y'all can hear me okay. I am going to try and talk as loud as I can. Um, I have all of the articles in a Wixit in the description and the link in the box below. Oh, mercy, Kevin. Mercy, you're too funny. Hey, hey, Daryl. God is good. Kamala for president, right? Okay. So, what the heck is going on here? Cannot. Alrighty. I don't know why it's saying cannot be displayed. Hold on. Oh, Lordy. Let me go back to the drawing board. Guys, I don't know what the deal is here. Oh, I guess I have to publish here. Hold on. Okay, now let me go back. See if we can do this again. Here we go. That's what it was. Okay. So we're going to go to Times. It's the Times of India. So, guys, it's kind of crazy when the Times of India has it in the papers. And ready to be U.S. president if VP Kamala Harris. Okay, so it's been in New York Post. It's been on the Daily Mail. It's also in the Times of India. So guys, we're probably going to be looking at a Kamala presidency. Just telling you. Vice President Kamala Harris said on Wednesday that a significant aspect of her role involves being prepared to assume the presidency if President Bluto is unable to complete his term. The New York Post has reported Harris addressed questions about her readiness for the presidency while on an overseas trip, initially deflecting inquiries about Biden's age by highlighting his legislative accomplishments. Oh, Joe is going to be fine. When asked about the process of her preparation, Harris said, well, first of all, I'm answering your hypothetical, but Joe Biden is going to be fine. So that is not going to come to fruition. She emphasized that every vice president understands the responsibility that they may have to assume the presidency when taking the oath, and that she is no different in recognizing this responsibility. Historically, 8 out of 45 U.S. presidents have passed away while in office, either due to assassination or natural causes. The oldest president in U.S. history, Biden, already the oldest president in U.S. history, is set to turn 81 in November, prompting questions about the potential need for the VP to step into the role. There have also been several reports about the health of the Biden 80 ever since he assumed presidency in 2020. In fact, rumors about Biden's health had also prompted questions whether the U.S. president will be reelected in the next year's polls. Notably, Harris' favorability ratings are lower than Biden's, with recent polls indicating that 40.7% of the public approves of her work compared to 41.7% for the president. Despite this, Biden is seeking a second term in the upcoming election, even though he would be 86 years old upon leaving office. Reports also suggest that there has been tensions in the Biden-Harris relationship, with the president reportedly viewing Harris as someone who doesn't effectively share his workload due to the fear of making mistakes. Biden has expressed frustration over her handling of specific tasks, including addressing issues related to illegal migration and advocating for federal voting rights legislation. Biden chose Harris as his running mate in 2020, making her the first female and second non-white vice president, despite their previous differences during the primary campaign. Anyway, what do you think about that, guys? Do you think we'll have a woman president before 2024's re-election? Word salad presidency 2021. Oh, that's so funny. This past February. Well, I actually had a word, Daryl. I received a word about Kamala going into the presidency as well a while back. In fact, even I think before this past February. I'll have to go back and look at the word when I get home, and I might make a video about it or whatever. But I do believe that he won't finish out his term if he's not impeached. He's made too many serious missteps, that's for sure. I think that's just my opinion, though. So we'll see, though, right? That's all we can say is we'll see. Okay, so then we have the second story for today, guys, is it's a tweet from Twitter that Texas must remove border barrier at Biden's request, judge says. Bloomberg law. All I can say is that's crazy, crazy, crazy. Absolutely crazy. So we'll see. We shall see. I don't see how he has rule over the state itself. So we'll see. Because I think constitutionally it's supposed to have gone back to the state, but I could be wrong, guys. Obviously, the judge is citing this, so who knows? We'll see how this fares. Hopefully, they'll take it to the Supreme Court, and, we'll see. Then we have, now this here, guys, I hope, this is from the Gateway Pundit. I'm going to share it like this, just so you guys can see it. But I pray, I hear you, Kevin. I'm praying that that this doesn't come to pass here, but this is pretty scary. It says DOJ prosecutors seek 120 days in prison for Owen Schreier for speaking out against the stolen 2020 event. A speech crime. InfoWars host Owen Schreier pleaded guilty in June to a single class misdemeanor on entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds on January 6th. The highly talented journalist was initially charged in August 2021, 8 months after remaining outside the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. After nearly 2 years of fighting charges related to his presence outside the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, Owen made the decision to plead guilty to a lesser charge. Schreier allowed the government to review his social media accounts, likely looking for any scrap of incriminating wrong they think they could find. Owen stood outside the U.S. Capitol. Owen and Alex Jones warned people about the inside the Capitol. They knew it was a setup. Instead of being awarded medals for their actions that day, the regime arrested Owens months later on bogus charges. After all, he is a Trump supporter. Today, DOJ prosecutors sought 120 days of prison time for Owen. They want him prosecuted for speech crimes. Who are the real criminals here? Do not fool yourself. The regime wants to treat every Trump supporter like this. They want to jail us all, and they will do just that if we let them. Anyway, so It says the government sentencing memorandum in the months prior, January 6, Schroyer spread election disinformation paired with violent rhetoric to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of viewers. He presently warned in November 2020 that if Biden became president, he's not going to be a million. It's not going to be a million peaceful marches in D.C. And on January 6th, Schroyer took a megaphone before leading the crowd to the Capitol. The Democrats are posing a communist, but we know what they really are. They're just tyrants. They're tyrants. And so today, on January 6th, we declared death to tyranny, death to tyrants. Schroyer did not stop at the sight of the tear gas or sounds of explosions on the west side of the Capitol. He continued marching around the top of the East Steps, chanting 1776, where rioters would eventually violently breach the Capitol and its police line and halt the transfer of presidential power. Schroyer did not step foot inside the Capitol. He did not need to. Many of those who listened to him did instead. In the aftermath, he has blamed Antifa and told his followers we should have been proud of what happened. Schroyer helped create January 6th. The government respectfully requests that this court sentenced him to 120 days of incarceration, 12 months of supervised release, and 60 hours of community service and $500 in restoration. God, guys, I think it's a bit steep, if you ask me. Yeah, I saw that. Rip Curl, I did. I think it was an end time headlines. I'll go. We'll pull it up here in a second. Let me see. Let's see. See. Where did I see it, George? Maybe it wasn't here. Maybe it was Zero Hedge. Trying to find that article. Might have been. And Twitterland, guys. Okay, so let's see. We will do CBS. It says U.S. Air Force conducts test launch of the unarmed Minuteman III, the ICBM. I cannot stand this. Let's see. The U.S. military launches the ICBM in display of nuclear forces readiness. The U.S. military on Wednesday launched an unarmed Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile from California in display of the U.S. nuclear forces readiness. The Air Force Global Strike Command launched was successful, carried out at Vandenberg Space Force Base at 1:26 a.m. So there we go. Yes, indeed. It was successful, wasn't it? Anyway, so where were we? Okay. Then we also have from Breaking Insider, Hurricane Lee strengthens into a hurricane and could reach a Category 5 intensity as it moves over a record warm Atlantic. And here is that. Hi, Alien Believer. They really do. It sounds, I mean, united we stand. That's all I'm going to say. I was paying attention to, who was it? Jacob Israel. And every time he said a certain word, they kind of buffered him. So I'm not going to say, try not to anyway. But let's just remain united. That's all I can say. I think that would be the best. Okay, let's see. Alrighty. We also have Kosovo situation, highly volatile. NATO commander says, this is from the Insider paper. did. Well, hold on. Insider paper. The commander of NATO forces in Kosovo warned Wednesday that the situation in the region remains volatile despite a return to calm after violence flared earlier this year. Unrest rocketed Serb majority areas in the north of territory in May, including a riot that saw more than 30 NATO peacekeepers injured during a clash with the ethnic Serb protesters. It is a claim, but the risk that will deteriorate is around the corner, and that is why we need a political solution, said Italian Major General Anglo Rastocha, commander of the NATO force K4 peacekeeping mission. The situation is still highly volatile. Northern Kosovo has remained riven by divisions and periods of unrest since Pristina declared independence from Serbia in 2008. Tension skyrocketed after Kosovo's leadership installed ethnic Albania mayors in 4 Serb majority municipalities. Kosovo is overwhelmingly populated by ethnic Albanians, but in the northern stretches of the territory near the border with Serbia, ethnic Serbs remain the majority in several municipalities. Belgrade, along with the key allies, China and Russia, has refused to recognize Kosovo's independence. K4 is the country's top security institution and bolstered its forces to 4,500 troops in the wake of the violent clashes in May. The peacekeeping force has been stationed in Kosovo since the end of 98 to 99 war between the ethnic Albanian separatist guerrillas and Serbian forces. The EU, which has been conducting a year-long push to normalize ties between Kosovo and Serbia, has invited leaders from 2 sides for a new round of talks next week. Rastuka, who ends his 1-year mandate in charge next month, said that there was a multitude of issues that needed to be solved through the political dialogue. We are living in a time frame of constant crisis management. He said, my concern is that even the most insignificant event can trigger the situation. Absolutely kind of crazy. But we've been covering that for a while. So, and will there ever be peace there? Who knows? It seems to be an ongoing conflict there, right? Then there was this man, an emergency shelter in place. Hello, Mario. I don't know. A murder suspect has escaped from George Washington University Hospital, prompting a shelter in place. Authorities, along with George Washington University Hospital, have sent an alert instructing the campus to shelter in place. An escaped prisoner broke free from custody from the hospital after being arrested on murder charges earlier on Wednesday, according to the D.C. police spokesperson. Several blocks in the area are closed for the manhunt, causing rush hour traffic to become gridlocked. People are advised to stay away from the area. The police have identified this 31-year-old Christopher Haynes. If anyone encounters Haynes, they should call 911 and avoid engaging with him, as he is reportedly dangerous. Well, you think if he's in trouble for murder, that's not rocket science. Kind of crazy, guys. But then this sounds a little bit even stranger, guys. And I know someone that retired from the Texas prisons. She was a dental assistant or a hygienist or something like that for the Texas, for Houston area. And I will see, I know she probably still has connections, so I'm going to see if I can't reach out to them a little later and see what the heck, if I could find anything out. Her hubby is I think he's a detective for Houston or for that area up there anyway. But we have all Texas departments of criminal justice prisons placed on lockdown until further notice. On Wednesday, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice announced that they were implementing an immediate lockdown and a comprehensive search of all correctional facilities. Visitation is also canceled at all facilities until the searches are completed. Over the last 5 years, the volume of illegal narcotics entering the system has substantially increased, the department said in a press release. This directly impacts the safety of the staff and inmates. Additionally, this year, the number of inmates and inmate homicides have increased. It is believed believe that the majority of the incidents are tied back to illegal drugs. The department said that during the lockdown, each facility will limit the movement of inmates and their contact with their outside the prison. Inmates and staff will undergo intensified searches to intercept and confiscate contraband. TDCJ is also completing a rollout of digital mail program. Over the last few years, there have been a significant increase in paper soaked NK2 or methamphetamines coming into our facility. The press release said the digital mail program will halt this contraband being sent through traditional mail. Effective September 6th, all inmate mail should be addressed and sent to the digital mail center. All mail received this week will be delivered to the digital mail processing center. Specialized search teams and narcotic dogs will also be deployed to units, and staff will be subject to enhanced search procedures. Inmates will still have access to the phone system and tablets. Once these comprehensive searches are complete, normal operations will resume, the TDCJ said. I am going to reach out to her and see if there's anything else that she can give me on that. I mean, that's pretty huge. I understand, I guess, but digital mail now, guys, digital mail for those in prison in Texas. That's kind of crazy. Everything is going to go digital, right? Okay, so let's continue on. We also have from Hal Turner. Liberty Safe gave access codes to Customer Safe for the FBI search. Instantly becomes the new Bud Light. Oh my guys. Oh my guys. You guys can't even make this stuff up, right? Okay. So Liberty Safe, which sells gun safes and other safes to patriots, admitted that it stores access codes and combinations and gave such info to the FBI for them to search Customer Safe over the J6 protest. In so doing, Liberty Safe seems to be the new Bud Light as far as its business future. And sadly, I think my lovely nephew has one of these safes. I'm sure he's going to be quite upset. And they're not cheap, guys. So America's top gun safe manufacturer, Liberty Safe, gave the FBI an access code to a safe owned by someone who was present at the J6 protest. The situation gets even worse. On August 30th, 2023, the FBI raided the owner of the safe, Arkansas man Nathan Hughes. Not only did they access his safe, but the FBI also allegedly turned off his security cameras and held his girlfriend at gunpoint. In a statement, Liberty Safe confirmed they gave the FBI Hughes code. Liberty Safe was contacted by the FBI requesting the access code to the safe of an individual for whom they had a warrant to search their property. Liberty Safe is devoted to protecting the personal property and Second Amendment rights of our customers. Shameful. And here's the statement from Liberty Safe. On August 30th, 2023, Liberty Safe was contacted by the FBI requesting the access codes to the safe of an individual for whom they had a warrant to search their property. Our company protocol is to provide access codes to law enforcement if a warrant grants them access to property. After receiving the request, we received proof of the valid warrant, and only then did we provide them with an access code. Liberty Safe had no knowledge of any of the details surrounding the investigation at the time. Liberty Safe is devoted to protecting the personal property and the Second Amendment rights of our customers and has repeatedly denied requests for access codes without a warrant in the past. We do not give out combinations without proper legal documentation being provided by authorities. We regularly update our policies to ensure both compliance with federal and state law and reasonable consumer privacy protections within the law. First and foremost, Liberty Safe is committed to preserving our customer right, and we will remain unwavering in those values. Upon posting this to Twitter account, the company was barraged with so many negative comments, they shut off commenting. Too bad they can't make their safes as secure as they made their commenting. I don't know if I want to read Hal's comments, guys, but we will try. Hey, Smoky Mountain Girl, how are you, sister? Aw, okay, sister. I am so sorry. We did not know that. I bet, sister. And I will keep you lifted up in my prayers. I will. I definitely will. Um, Okay, so Hal Turner says the Second Amendment supporters don't care about the nuisance of the feds having search warrant. All they see is a safe manufacturer bending the knee the second some feds call them. They have Bud Lighted themselves in a spit in the face to their clients, base needlessly. Now I suspect they're going to be out of business when they could have quadrupled their sales with just a simple no. The company should have made the combination user selectable. Instead, they keep the codes, and everyone who owns one of these safes seems now to be at risk. Of note, the FBI knew to do this, but the FBI cannot figure out how to get into an open, unlocked, no password laptop from Hunter Biden. Pretty funny, right? Oh, how his comments are just comical sometimes. Okay, so then we also have from Hal Turner a sample of potential BRICS currency note. Looks so lovely, doesn't it, guys? Okay, a potential sample of BRICS currency note has been obtained, showing that new BRICS trade organization is now deep into a very seriously planning for a replacement for the US dollar as the global reserve currency. Above is a potential 100 BRICS note. The design has not yet been agreed to by the BRICS nations, nor has the issuance of any actual BRICS currency been agreed to yet. The fact that currency design is already underway, however, shows how serious the rest of the world has become at replacing the US dollar to avoid meddling in the affairs by the United States via sanctions. The image above is from the potential new 100 BRICS note. Below is the rear of the same potential note. And here is that. The sample of the symbolic potential currency was gifted to the ambassador of the United Arab Emirates by the Russian ambassador at a ceremony in South Africa to celebrate the entry of the UAE into the BRICS Plus organization. All right, guys. Yep. It's coming along for them, isn't it? It is indeed. Okay. So then we also have, guys, hold on. I'm trying to get this all together here. Okay. So then we also have, out of 11 of the U.S. aircraft carrier groups, 10 are presently at home ports. And this was actually yesterday's, and I probably have it at the top, so this will probably be duplicated. But the United States has left itself virtually defenseless as far as naval power, with 10 of its 11 aircraft carrier groups presently in home ports and only one at sea. Why is the United States Navy leaving its country unprotected like this? Now, guys, I have a funny story to tell you, and I'm going to try and make it quick. But on Labor Day, my eyes have been playing tricks on me a whole lot, but I was looking at a small edition of the Google thingy, and I thought it was a sailor and it was a chef. And I kept telling the group I was talking to, this is a sailor. Can't you see it? And they said, no, it's this. And then finally I clicked on the right link and it blew up. And sure enough, I was wrong. But then my mom came out and she told me about a dream she had. And it has to do with a Navy sailor because the person that she spoke, I'm not going to speak their name. She's known ever since the little girl was 5 years old or in kindergarten. Anyway, she was best friends or is still friends, I guess, with my niece. But anyway, the girl came out and my mom came out and this girl is in and tells me she had this dream and she's in the Navy. So I took it as, and I was just talking about the stupid thinking it was a sailor thing. So I feel like the Lord has placed that Navy on my heart so that we would pray for the Navy. And then to get this article on the same time frame about the Navy is quite troublesome. So I will definitely be praying for the Navy, and I hope you'll join me later tonight when I get a chance to do Bible. Okay, so then we have, okay, so we just did that. Then we have this article from End Times Headlines, guys. And this is from End Time Headlines. I'm going to show you the I hope y'all can read that there. It says nuclear war with Russia may now be inevitable as talks of U.S. targets surface. Most Americans have absolutely no idea how close we are to a nuclear war. Our politicians confidently assure us that we are in the war in Ukraine will never spark a nuclear conflict, and the mainstream media in Western world rarely talks about such scenarios. But over in Russia, things are completely different. They regard the war in Ukraine as existential conflict between Russia and NATO. And there is a constant talk on Russia television about the possibility of nuclear war. Here is the latest example that I have come across. A Kremlin propagandist has issued the latest nuclear threat against the West regarding the war in Ukraine, warning that the U.S. could be in danger of a Russian missile attack. Igor Korchenko, editor of the newspaper National Defense, and a regular guest on the Russia One channel, where guests have repeatedly called for strikes against Ukraine's allies, took exception to the criticism of Russia's conduct in the war. During his recent appearance on Russia One channel, Korchenko openly talked about the first strike, which would involve hitting targets on the territory of the United States of America. The most important message we should send to Americans is that we will not wage war with you in Europe, he said in a clip subsequently posted on X, formerly Twitter, by Ukrainian Internal Affairs advisor Anton Gershenko. In response to your attacks on the Russian military or civilian facilities, the first strike will be preemptive, limited strike against targets on the territory of the United States of America, he told the anchor of 60 Minutes, Yevgeny Popov. Last week, Russia announced that its smart strategic missiles, which can reach the U.S., had been put on combat duty. This is pretty stunning, but Korchenko's remarks are tame compared to what retired Major General Alexander Valdemar is saying. Valdemar is the author of Russia's War Bible, and he is entirely convinced that a nuclear war involving the United States and Russia has become inevitable. Nuclear war is an inevitable conclusion of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. A Russian general who wrote the nation's War Bible has warned that chilling forecasts came from a retired Major General Alexander Valdemar, who penned Russia's 3-volume book called The General Theory of War. Why didn't this make headlines? News all over the United States, according to Valdemar, nuclear weapons will be used in this war. And he wants his country to actively prepare for such an outcome so that they will have the best chance to survive. He warned, I am sure that nuclear weapons will be used in this war, inevitably, and from this, neither we nor the enemy have anywhere to go. The sooner our politicians and leadership realize this, the sooner we start to train troops and the population for this, the more chances we will have for survival, which means victory. Sadly, Valdemar is seeing things quite clearly. If we stay on the path that we are on, it will result in the unthinkable. That is why so many of us have been advocating for a peaceful solution in Ukraine. Unfortunately, Joe Biden and his minions just keep escalating matters. They are deeply frustrated with how poorly Ukraine's counteroffensive has fared, and they are pushing the Ukrainians to make more of an effort to achieve the breakthrough in the South. A half a dozen of U.S. officials who spoke of condition of anonymity told the New York Times and other outlets that they are starting to question some of Ukraine's military tactics, including where on the front line they are placing their combat units. Ukraine commanders are dividing their forces equally between the east and the south on the country, when there should be consolidating them more in the south, the official said. They urged Ukraine to push through the vast minefields left behind by Russia in the area, even if this means losing more soldiers and equipment in the process, according to the reports. But what are the Ukrainians supposed to do? The Russian defenses are extremely well prepared, and tens of thousands of Ukrainian men have already been slaughtered during fruitless attempts to break through Russian lines. Meanwhile, the Russians have been making a significant gains on the Eastern Front. The Ukrainian army is facing a major strategic defeat on the Eastern Front, as it shows obvious signs of collapse along the entire defense axis from Kupiansk to Savioda, Crimea, Limia, Serbsky, Belgorod, Korka. As we can see, the situation in the Kupiansk and Krasnoyarsk direction is becoming more and more difficult for the Ukrainian formations. It is no coincidence that Kyiv forces in Kharkiv region with the support of the SBU Security Service of Ukraine Conduct door to door, walks in the territory, and almost all men, even the elderly, are mobilized into the ranks of Ukrainian formations. The Ukrainians are running out of warm bodies. At some point, they are going to get very desperate. And as I always say, desperate people do desperate things. At the same time, war with China just keeps getting closer and closer. This week, the Biden administration approved an $80 million military weapon package for Taiwan under a program typically saved for sovereign nations. The Biden administration has approved funding for the first ever transfer of U.S. military equipment to Taiwan under a program typically saved for sovereign nations, according to the notification sent to Congress on Tuesday. The package, which is part of the State Department's Foreign Military Financing, the FMF program, totals $80 million and will be paid by U.S. taxpayers. The FMF will be used to strengthen Taiwan's self-defense capabilities through joint and combined defense capabilities and enhanced maritime domain awareness and maritime security capability, the department wrote in the notification to Congress that was reviewed by CNN. Needless to say, this move absolutely infuriated the Chinese. China Foreign Ministry on Thursday expressed strong dissatisfaction and firm opposition at the arms sale, which it said had harmed China's sovereignty and security interests and undermined peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. It urged the U.S. to cease enhancing the U.S.-Taiwan military connections and arming Taiwan and to stop creating tensions across the Taiwan Strait, Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin told a regular news conference. And there's a little bit more. It says to read more, you can click on the link. We're not going to read more. I'm going to try and hit a couple of these other articles at the top here from yesterday. Let's see. Hal Turner has Ukraine counteroffensive absolutely failure, 66,000 dead, 7,600 heavy weapons destroyed. Let's see. Ukraine has suffered heavy losses during the 3 months of its summer counteroffensive against Russia, but has failed to achieve its goals at any part of the front line. Russian Defense Ministry Sergei Shogov has reported, "I can confirm that the counteroffensive of Ukraine is a failure for the last 10 days. They have been making violent attacks with great forces, with great hopes. All of it failed," he said. Kiev forces have lost more than 66,000 troops and over 7,600 heavy weapons since launching their push in early June, the Russian official said Tuesday. Despite the colossal cost in manpower and equipment, the Ukrainian government continues its operation because it desperately needs to show some kind of success to its Western sponsors, Shogov stated. Artillery of the Armed Forces of Ukraine attacked its own servicemen after they tried to leave their positions in the Kherson region due to lack of food and ammunition. The soldiers surrendered to the forces of the Russian Federation. Acting governor of Kherson region, Volodymyr Saldo, said on his Telegram channel. Over the past weekend, boats were used in Kyiv for attacks in 3 ports, and 4 such speedboats manned by Ukraine paratroopers were destroyed before they ever made it to land. During the past week, 7 unmanned boats and armed forces of Ukraine were also destroyed. Ports. It says, asked why Russia seems to be now focusing so heavily on hitting Ukrainian ports. Shogov replied, Ukrainian ports should not have been used to attack our infrastructure and create drones. This was, among other things, part of the grain deal. All these grain deal agreements were broken by Ukraine. Thank you so much, Smoky Mountain Gal. Thank you. So then we have Hal Turner also with an article about Bulgaria countrywide protests set for today. On Sunday, the 20th, the website reported covert intel to subscribers that another Maidan-style revolt was in the making. This one is in Bulgaria. At this time, the intel said the events would commence 4 days later on August 24th. Looks like we were a bit early. Today's widespread messaging is carrying the following info from inside Bulgaria. The citizens, and it must have been, I don't know, but it was September 5th. The citizens of the country believe that the current parliament and the cabinet should resign. It is clear that the citizens of the country, that the government current government has a special order outside, and they are not interested in what the people think. Citizens demand to stop all actions to drag Bulgaria into a war, sending weapons, deploying foreign contingents, etc. To stop all actions to change the state holiday of 3rd March, to stop all actions to change the Constitution, to immediately decide on the referendum, to stop the deal of nuclear units in the Belinian nuclear power plant, to stop the replacement of Bulgarian language, to stop the preparations for the second pandemic scenario organized by the WHO, halt preparations for creation of digital currency, immediate action to renegotiate concessions, contracts for gold and other underground resources in the interest of Bulgarian people, immediate action to abolish trade and healthcare, stopping gender ideology in kindergarten and schools, but no one believes that the Bulgarian government and parliament will agree to fulfill these demands. That is why the actions are planned in Sofia and dozens of the Bulgarian cities on the 6th of September at 1700. It was the maiden revolution inside Ukraine that ultimately overthrew that country's government. Now we're seeing the beginnings of what is said to be another maiden situation, only this time in Bulgaria. Stay tuned, he says. And that was posted yesterday, guys. So I haven't seen an update for that article yet. And then we have also that we've already did that one. That was about the 11. I know I had it on here twice. Sorry, guys. And this was, like I said, yesterday, the FAA canceled United Airlines nationwide ground stop. The United Airlines, and I had posted an article or a link to something in the community tab when it first happened. So you probably have a different article there, but United Airlines issues a nationwide ground stop due to a computer issue. ABC reported, citing the Federal Aviation Administrator. So it was due to computer failure. So yeah. Those, you have to have computers these days to do everything, guys. Let's see. And then we have from End Time Headlines, the U.S. government investing $22 million in developing surveillance clothing that can record video and audio. Hello, Miss Missy. How are you, sister? Wearable technology is quickly evolving beyond Fitbits, Apple Watches, and Aurora Rings. The federal government is reportedly funneling $22 million into developing ready-to-wear clothing that can record audio, video, and geolocation data through something it's called the Smart Electrical Powered and Network Textile System Program, or Smart ePants. For short, according to The Intercept, garments slated for production include shirts, pants, socks, underwear, all of which are intended to be washable. The Intercept reported the program represents the largest single investment to develop active smart textiles that feel, move, and function like any garment, according to August 22nd press release from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Guys, I can't tell you, but maybe you might want to start making your own clothes. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to wear anything that's going to be able to track me. I mean, seriously, I don't know if y'all saw that, but there it is again. Anyway, I don't want to have them tracking my movement via my clothes, right? Let's see. Hold on, I'm trying to find my spot here, guys. We also had from End Time Headlines, are you ready to fly commercial airlines controlled by completely AI? Every commercial flight has two pilots at the controls, but some plane makers are now designing cockpits that need fewer pilots, or someday even none. So far, the airline customers have been quiet on this issue, but pilots' unions across the globe are getting louder, saying any fewer than two pilots is dangerous. The ideal that is most effective in Europe, where French manufacturers Airbus and Dassault are pushing for regulators to allow passenger planes to operate with only one pilot in the cockpit for the majority of a long haul flight. It's commercially driven initiative with enormous risk for passengers, for pilots, and for the cabin crew. Anyway, guys, there's a little bit more. I am trying to tap this out, but absolutely crazy. I don't know about you guys, but I am not going to get on a I don't want to fly now, just because of all the stuff that is happening, but I sure wouldn't want to be on a plane with nobody behind the thing except for a computer. Just saying. Anyway, let's see here. We also have, I think, one more. And this one here is online deepfakes may accelerate the push for global ID to obtain internet access. And all of these articles, guys, are in the Wixit in the description in the box below. But deepfake videos have the power to deceive and manipulate the masses, especially in the world where videos can go viral within seconds. What was once a complex of time-consuming process reserved for skilled individuals is now within the reach of virtual anyone, thanks to the powerful software and machine learning algorithms. Creating convincing deepfakes has become alarming effortlessly. Fake videos of celebrities promoting phony services has begun to gain some traction on major social media platforms. Last week, NBC News viewed more than 50 videos posted to those sites that featured computer-manipulated images and audio of well-known people, all of which appear to have been created to scam viewers out of money. So many of them have centered on Elon Musk and manipulated videos of several news television personalities, including CBS. Most of these videos continue deep fakes versions. Many of these videos have tens of thousands of views. It is only a matter of time until a deep fake goes viral to the degree that it causes a national crisis, such as a fake political assassination or another dramatic news event that could destabilize our society. This could be the triggering event to bring about new rules for the internet, including a digital ID system. Anyway, I'm not going to read any more, guys, but that is huge. Who wants a digital ID? I don't know about you guys, but I don't. Anyway, so that's the headlines that I have, and I'm sure that there's some that I forgot, but I was doing this in the time that I could. We've got kids that are we're just been busy. So it's been hard with between kids and school and everything else right now, getting back into the swing of things. And so this is what I got today for y'all. Anyway, if I missed anything, I'll probably put it in the community tab or maybe even in the link in the description in the box below. Yes, and I heard that too. I heard that that there's a lot of let me just drive to the church. I heard that there was a lot of chatter about it. There is even a Tucker Carlson video. I think we talked about it the other day, Smoky Mountain. We did, and it's kind of crazy. It is indeed. I tell you. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. A lot of people have been talking about it. I know that there's been a lot of attempts already, so we'll be praying that it doesn't happen. That's for sure. Anyway, I hope you all will join me a little bit later for Bible. I have to get my phone charged up here a little bit, and then we will do some prayer. How's that, guys? Love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed evening. God bless you, and have a blessed evening. Anyway, God bless y'all, and thanks. Bye-bye. No, we're not using face. Not here. Not anybody is, anyway, that I'm seeing. Maybe some old people here and there, but not anything out of the normally. Anyway, bye, guys. We're moving.